We've all done things that we regret. Every decision that we make may not have been the best one when we look back. But unfortunately, there's no going back from the wrongs we have done in the past, and we can either face our past to improve ourselves, or continue to run from it. Slime Rancher is a video game where you domesticate, explore, sell, and upgrade your way through the far range as an aspiring slime rancher named Beatrice Lebeau, or Beatrix LeBeau for our less cultured audience. Your goal is to explore the
Far range.
learn about what happened to Hobson, the previous owner of the ranch, and make those fat new bucks. Slime visuals. This game is straight up adorable. The character and slime designs are cute. Every single rancher has a cute butt and nose, and almost everything is smiling all the time. Almost all the time. The adorable exterior does wonders to cover up the fact that you are committing war crimes to get what you want in this game. More on that later. Each slime in this game has a unique design, making them easy to distinguish from the others, which is nice since breeding slimes is a big part of the action. Some are actually mesmerizing. Each environment is distinct, with its own themes and splash of life. Looking at the ground alone can tell you which area you're in right now. The whole thing is so pleasant to look at and really adds to the comforting and casual tone of the game. Slime audio. The sound design in this game is pretty nice. Many of the sounds feel reminiscent of an arcade game, with coins jangling and triumphant little tunes occurring left and right. One spot where it really shines is with the slime noises themselves. The slapping, bouncing, and chirping of the slimes does a great deal to bring them to life. It can definitely get chaotic when the slimes add up, but I feel like that adds to the experience. Slime Rancher's soundtrack is straight up delightful. Each track is an upbeat and soothing symphony, enabling the laid-back experience to come. The music in the game even changes with the time of day. Every area has 4 tracks dedicated to them for this purpose. Take a listen. Now to the meat, or should I say slime, of the game. Your goal in Slime Rancher is to explore the far range, learn about what happened to the idyllic figure Hobson, and make as much money as possible. In order to make that money, you need something to make money off of. You begin with a single pen for storing slimes, but as your profits increase from feeding slimes or just scrounging up whatever berries you find in the wild, you'll be able to expand your ranch. There are several lots across the ranch that allow you to purchase various upgradable buildings that fulfill the needs of the ranch. These buildings can contain slimes, grow food for the slimes, imprison walking food that is kept in blissful oblivion to the true nature of its existence, and more ethically variable uses. Each slime has its own unique needs and quirks that come with it. Some slimes can hurt you. Some can explode, which also hurts you. Some can literally phase out of conventional existence as we know it and ruin your entire ranch. Managing these quirks for profit is the main element of this game's ranching side. Slimes can combine with each other. When a slime eats the plort of another slime, they'll become a Largo slime that drops both kinds of the plort upon feeding them, and has the diet of both of the slimes. If another new plort is introduced to a Largo, bad things begin to happen. Besides lording over your ranch, exploration makes up a significant portion of the game. Going out into the far range is the way you discover new slimes, vegetables, fruits, unaware hens, and other things to bring to the ranch. Right off the bat, you'll notice that some areas are impossible to get to. Large gaps that can't be covered with a single jump, and remarkably high ledges are not permanent barriers. At the ranch, you can purchase many upgrades and abilities, most importantly the jetpack and the water tank. One used for obvious things, and the other used for not so obvious things. You'll also run into large doors between the wild areas of the game. These can be unlocked with slime keys that you get from Gordo slimes hidden across the world. How do you do this? I don't want to talk about it. On the topic of rapid expansion, most of the ranch is locked off at the start, but you can pay to open them up. These parts of the ranch allow players the opportunity to specialize different portions of the ranch. For example, you could build farms in the garden area, store hens by the docks, and etc. There are also contracts you can do for the other ranchers that inhabit the far range. These are basically fetch quests with a time limit. Each contractor has their own distinct personality and needs. Some are good, some are great, and others are more unscrupulous. This is all entirely optional though, and you can just opt to explore and breed slimes for the game. Exploration rewards the player with new slimes, new vistas, and breadcrumbs of plot until you reach the end of the game. There are also other game modes to try out once you finish the adventure mode. Casual mode is adventure mode, except it is much more difficult to take damage. There are also no bad characters in this mode. Rush mode? Well.
In the first age, in the first battle, when the shadows first lengthened, one stood.
On that note, let's move on to plot. This next segment is going to have some spoilers, so if you aren't down with that, skip to here for the conclusion. Beatrix LeBeau buys a ranch in the far range from a mysterious figure named Hobson. Upon her arrival traveling from her homeworld, Beatrix finds that Hobson has vanished inexplicably, leaving his ranch behind as well as various letters to Beatrix scattered throughout the far range. At first, Hobson's notes are tips to Beatrix and helpful advice, but soon enough they start to get more introspective. Hobson's story begins shortly after purchasing the ranch. At first he was content with his conventional ranching lifestyle, but something in Hobson yearned for more. At a certain point in his notes, one mentions Hobson thinking of a certain her. Between casual advice on the far range, Hobson recounts his experience falling in love. Eventually, you find out that the lover in question is Thora West, one of the contractors that you've been in contact with this whole time. As Hobson's journey progresses, their relationship begins to blossom. Beatrix eventually reaches a set of ruins in pursuit of these notes and learns that the ruins themselves are a kind of dimensional teleportation device that can take any human to the great beyond, presumably a place in deep space. In Hobson's narrative, he has a decision left to make: become the first human ever to enter the great beyond and acquire fame untold, or to take a chance on love with Thora. Which door in life does Hobson take? That is the question that surrounds the conclusion of the game's plot. Which door does he take? The answer may surprise you. After reading Hobson's final note, Beatrix heads home and takes a moment to reflect, and that is where our story ends. Conclusion. Despite getting post-traumatic stress disorder from 100%ing it, Slime Rancher is a pretty solid game. I greatly enjoy the soundtrack, everything in it is incredibly cute, and the sound design combined with the gameplay elements seems to call back towards a simpler time. I had a great time overall. There are parts I found frustrating, but the game rewards you for your patience and makes even the smallest step feel like a great achievement. Overall, I compare this game to a nice glass of iced tea on a summer afternoon. Refreshing, calm, and warm. Farewell, and see you all next time.